Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Tuesday. Okay, so my neighbor about 5 houses down is vacuuming out his pickup truck. And so I was going to wait here until he gets done vacuuming his truck so it's a little bit more silent. But I don't know how long that's going to be. And it is currently 3:32, and Tanya Jean is coming to pick me up at 5:30 today. So I was like, you know what, and I want to get my books read, and I want to take a shower and all that kind of stuff before Tanya Jean comes. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to start this vlog now, and I'm sure he can't go on forever. So anyway, how are you guys doing today? It is absolutely beautiful in Indianapolis. I took the dogs outside, and they were like pulling me in all these different directions and stuff. So after I took them outside the front yard and let them do their business, I took them out back, and they absolutely love it. They were like, I think they just, I don't know how they can tell the difference. Well, obviously, I mean, anybody can tell the difference in the weather, right? But it is so nice out today, and they just ran and chased after each other in circles in the backyard, and they just absolutely loved it. So they definitely like the nice weather rather than the cold weather outside. Okay, let's look at the temperature today. I bet it's in the 50s. Hold on. Oh my lord, I was wrong. It's not in the 50s. It's in the 60s. It's 61 degrees. Tanya is texting me about roads being closed, and she's asking me how to get here. Hold on a second. Let me text her back. Okay. So anyway, she's like, I think some roads are closed and stuff like that to get here. I don't think there are any roads closed. Can we just talk about my shirt for a second? Okay. So I wore this for my drama video. I was actually going to put a t-shirt on instead. But I actually don't know if I even need this coat. I can just... Isn't this such a pretty shirt? I think it's such a pretty shirt. I might have to put my coat back on if I get a little chilly. But anyway, so this is the shirt that, I mean, I've had this shirt probably, I had this shirt before I got with Alex. And this is a thrifted shirt from Broaderpool Vintage, which is one of my favorite thrift stores in the entire world. So, like I said yesterday, I've been trying to wear like different clothes and stuff like that. So I was like, what is... That's called getting older. When you have your reading glasses in your shirt pocket. So I've been trying to wear like different clothes and stuff, you know, like all the clothes that are in my closet and all that kind of stuff. And I just like, I love going in there and picking something out. So today I was like getting ready to go down in the basement to get a black t-shirt, because I've just done like an entire load of like black t-shirts and blue t-shirts and stuff like that. So I was going down there to get a black t-shirt to film my drama video. And I was like, why don't I just pull out like some flannel from the closet or something like that? Some, you know, old like thrifted vintage flannel that I have in the closet. They must be really getting that car clean. I think they're probably going on like a Christmas road trip or something to see their grandkids, you think? Anyway, so I was like, why don't I just go in the closet? And I don't know why, like when I walked in the closet, my eye just went right over the shirt. Other than deciding to keep this shirt, do you see like, look at the threading on it. I actually remember when I bought this shirt. That's how, like, that's crazy, isn't it? I can remember when I found this shirt, because I love kind of the 70s collar of it all. I love, like, the big collars on shirts and stuff. But anyway, my eye just kind of went right to the shirt, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't worn that shirt in, like, literally, like, 15, 20 years, right? And when I tried on everything in my closet to see if it fit, and I was like, oh my god, I got it. So I wore this for my drama video today. I was going to take it off to put, I had a gray t-shirt on earlier. I was going to put on my gray t-shirt apology t-shirt for this video, but I was like, no. I'm wondering now, like, if he's going to vacuum this car through the entirety of the vlog. I know you guys are going to be like, Peter, it doesn't really bother us at all. It's driving me a little crazy, honestly. Oh my lord, there is a Jesus. There is a Jesus. Okay. It's just, the stillness is so nice. The stillness is so nice. Okay, so I was out here, when I was bringing the dogs out here earlier, I was talking to my neighbor next door. So their son and his wife that just got married this year, and their and their grandson was visiting this weekend. And so they had like their family Christmas on Sunday, like because their daughter lives here in town too. And so, and they had it at their house next door. And so I was like, so are you guys not doing anything for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? And she was like, well, they're going over, my daughter's going to their in-laws on Christmas Eve, but we're going over their house for Christmas Day, and like both families are coming over there for Christmas Day. And I said, oh, that'll be nice. I said, so what are you guys doing for Christmas Eve? So they're going to this church that their friends invited them to. It's not like their regular church. And, but they go to it like sometimes, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, she was explaining the whole story to me. But does this not sound like so much fun? So, I was like, oh my God, if we had nothing to do, I would love to do that. So they're doing like a Christmas nativity pageant at this church, but it's unrehearsed. So when you go in, if you're like open to it, and it's at night too, like it's anyway, if you're open to it, when you walk in, you can be part of the pageant. Like you don't have to be, but like those people that want to, kids, adults, anybody, right? And so you just like grab out of this bin. There's like, she said there's like 30 or 40 parts. You just like grab out of this bin. It's a non-rehearsed Christmas pageant, okay? So you just like grab out of this like box, like, and you pull out what character you are. So you could be like the lead character, like, and not even know it walking in there. So her husband's not going to do it, but she's going to do it. She's so excited. I said, that sounds like so much fun. She goes, doesn't that sound like fun? I said, yeah, my mom would have loved something like that for Christmas Eve. My mother-in-law would love it, but she's already hosting Christmas Eve, and so it's not like we're going to take, 20 people. Jesse's parents are actually coming down, and they're staying with my mother-in-law tomorrow night. So Jesse's parents are going to be here. I thought that, like, it was just Jesse and Fufu that do every other year. Jesse and Alex are actually Christmas shopping right now at the mall for me and Fufu's Christmas presents. So I actually thought it was like, I don't know why I thought this way. I feel like I already knew this, but that like one Christmas Jesse and Fufu are with us, and like the next Christmas they're with her parents. But I just assumed for some reason that like every year her sisters are with her parents, but that's not how they do it. So like all of her sisters are like, have like partners and stuff. So she has 3 sisters. So she said, no. She was like, because she was like the other night, she was like, my parents are coming down. They're going to stay here with us Christmas Eve. They're going to stay here till like the 26th. I was like, oh my God, that's so nice. Alex's mom is so excited about it. She's fixed up the whole like second guest bedroom and everything for it. She's so excited about it. By the way, what is Nikki texting me? Since I know that I'm going to have a espresso tonic coffee with Tanya Jean tonight while I get my feet done, I bought a case of the mini Diet Dr. Peppers when I was at the grocery store with Alex. So I'm going to have my mini Diet Dr. Pepper. Hey, how are you?
Wonderful.
She said the weather was wonderful. I didn't really, it kind of got to me later. I didn't really get it. Anyway, the weather is wonderful. So Jessie was like, no. She was like, because I thought I knew that they were like, Jessie and Fufu just weren't doing it, but like her sisters and her parents were like, they usually go somewhere and get like an Airbnb somewhere, like they'll go somewhere skiing or something like that. Or like, I think they came to San Diego last year. I can't remember. But anyway, one year they did Michigan. They got like a house on the lake in Michigan for Christmas. They do like these really cool Airbnbs. So Jessie was like, no. She was like, one year we do it, like all my sisters and I and their partners. And she was like, and then the next year, like we all trade off. I said, oh, so your sisters are all with their partners' families this year? She's like, yeah, so we trade off like every other year. And she was like, so if my parents didn't come down there, they were just going to be alone this year for Christmas. And she was like, so, like Alex's mom was like, well, come on down, stay with us. Isn't that so nice? I'm so excited. So it's going to be really fun. So that's tomorrow night. Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of distracted. So I got up today. Alex was like, so Alex and Jessie were supposed to meet. They're doing some surprise for the family. They have to buy today. I don't know what it is. He had her on speakerphone last night, and he was trying to like talk in code, and he knew that I was listening because I was downstairs and he was upstairs, so he was like trying to talk in code. But they're doing some surprise for the family. I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, so then they were like meeting up. And then, like, Fufu, like, he was going to meet up with them for, like, a little while. But then, like, Jesse couldn't get there till later, so he met his friend. And he was like, do you want to come? Do you want to film? I was like, no, I want to film a little bit. So I filmed a little bit today. I don't know if I'm going to film tomorrow. We'll just kind of see. I might take tomorrow and Thursday off, other than my vlog. We'll just kind of see. I'm really excited to be with Tanya Jean tonight. I'm also, so if you guys didn't watch my vlog yesterday, Tanya's picking me up at 5:30. We're going to get coffee, and then we're going to get I'm getting my feet done. She's getting her Christmas nails done. And then, which just reminded me, and I almost forgot this, that I have to wrap Tanya Jean's present, her Christmas present. Okay, so we're getting our feet done, and then we're going to, I'm getting my feet done, she's getting her nails done, and then we're going to our meeting, and I'm getting my 31-year sobriety coin tonight, which will be really nice. And then she'll bring me home after that. Nikki finished all the Advent calendar books already because she was getting a Stephen King book and she was so excited about it. She's like, I want to read it through Christmas, so I'm finishing these Advent calendar books. She only liked one of them out of all 12. Well, I think she ended up reading 11. But out of the 12 books, the only one she really liked was Heart of Christmas by Sophie Germain. I'm trying, like, I would like to get them done, the majority of them tonight. Now I'm getting a little chilly. I would like to get the majority of them done tonight. So this is my plan. I'm just going to read the chapters for today. Well, I actually finished last night. It was this short story, The Candy Cane Man. I kind of really liked it. It was written very well. The writing was really great. The story was not so much. The story was, I don't know, but whatever. Nikki was like, that was a really short book. Because we kind of tease each other over, like, short books and stuff like that. So, Nikki already met her goal for the year. So our goal was 112 books for the year. So Nikki, one of the books that she's like way over that now. It won't matter anyway. But one of the books that she read was like this TikTok viral book called Mary, and it was 7 pages. I have let her have it since she read it. I was like, girl, that was a long book. I mean, I love to keep, like, you know, meet my goal every year or see where I'm at, but I don't do the Goodreads goals for that. The Goodreads goal, well, I do the Goodreads goals for that, to, like, set myself a goal, but I keep track of my books just because I like to go back and reference what I've read and stuff like that, so I don't really care about the length of the book. So anyway, this short story was, like, I think you could read it in, like, an hour or something like that on the Kindle, it said, because, you know, like, where it tells you, like, the time. And so I read this one called I actually read it over, like, 3 days, actually, because I only read, like, 15 pages a day. But, so I finished it last night, and Nikki was giving me such a hard time. She was like, oh, so you read a short book or whatever. I said, I'm going to be well over. I mean, I'm 4 away from 112 books. I think I'm 3 away now. 3 away from 112 books. So when I finish these Advent calendar books, like, that's going to put me, like, 10 over. And then I've got 4 other Christmas books. So that's going to put me, like, I'll probably be like 15 or 20 books over my goal this year. I can't believe it. This will be like the most I've read since I started on Goodreads in a year. Nikki and I were talking about, like, what we're going to set our goal for next year. I don't think I want to put it too high, but I think I'm going to set it, like, this year was 112. I think I'm going to set it for 115. I would rather meet my goal and go over it than not meet my goal at all. I know people that don't understand this are like, why do you care? It's just like, I don't know. It's like, it reminds me of, like, when I was growing up in school and the library or the school would do that, like, summer reading challenge. That's what it reminds me of. I love doing it. I love to see other people's too, you know? So anyway. So when I come home from Tanya Jean's tonight, I really want to watch a Christmas movie tonight. Not to review, just to watch. I think I'll probably watch the Disney version of The Christmas Carol tonight. That's, like, my favorite version. I'll probably watch that tonight. And then I have half of an episode of season 3 of The Bay. And so I'll probably finish that and then start season 4 of The Bay. I'm loving that show. Loving The Bay. It is so good. And I was real worried because after season 2, like, the detective Lisa leaves and it's a new detective. Her name's Jen. And whenever they do that in a show, I'm always, like, really worried about, like, am I going to still like the show? I love it. I don't know, like, if that's maybe just the 2 shows I've watched, like Shetland and The Bay, that have done that. This one, the transition for Shetland was done so much better. Like, you knew he was leaving. You knew they were going to bring somebody else in. Like, you knew that it was going to happen. You could tell in that last episode. It wasn't like that. And I looked up why she left, and she just felt like it was time for her to move on to other projects, which that's interesting to me, too. Like, you don't really hear that with a lot of U.S. TV shows. Like, they'll hold on until they get fired, or they'll still be on or 20 seasons later, you know what I mean? But, like, with a lot of these UK TV shows, like, David, who's the Tennant, the guy that was on Broadchurch, he and Olivia Colman decided that after Broadchurch season 3 that like the story was done, which I think is like, and it's like the guy on, if you look it up, on the guy on Shetland, I can't remember what his name is, but when he left, he was like, I feel like my story had reached its conclusion. I think to be of that caliber of acting, to just say, I'm going to step away from this successful project because I just think my story is done. I mean, I'm sure there's more conversations than that go on behind the scenes, but I think that that's brilliant to say, like, no, I've done what I needed to do here. Like, it's very much to me like Schitt's Creek, when Schitt's Creek ended, and it could have done, like, Schitt's Creek, I mean, when Schitt's Creek ended was just reaching the beginning of its popularity. Like, I mean, it could have gone on for 10 more seasons. And they're like, no, the story's done. And I love that. Like, as sad as I was, because I love Schitt's Creek. Well, I don't even think I watched Schitt's Creek until it was all over or something. Hey, how are you? I don't even think I watched Schitt's Creek until it was all over, maybe. But, no, I don't think I did watch it until it was all over. But, like, I don't know, I just love that about it. Like, you kind of know, like, it's time to be done with the show. It's like limited series for me. What did I see last night? I mean, I was excited because I liked the first season, Presumed Innocent. I was excited because I liked the adaptation from the book and the original movie. But I was like, what are they going to do with season 2? Like, at some of these shows, like, when they get second and third seasons, I'm like, it's like they try so hard because the ratings are so good that the second and third season are really not that great. I don't know. I have fallen so far behind on Matlock. I was looking at this thing last night, some Instagram TV account that I follow, and it was talking about new shows and new seasons that are coming out, and Matlock was listed on there, so they must be taking like a winter break, and Elsbeth. I'm like 3 or 4 episodes behind on Matlock. I'm just bored of it. I am so bored of it. I've got to either catch up or give up on it because I'm just so bored of Matlock. But then I also, like, it's a show that, like, I want to keep up with because I've been invested with it this long, but, like, I'm not invested anymore. I feel like every episode is exactly the same. I am so tired. Like, it's been like a year and a half of her trying to find out, like, some information on Welbrechts. To be honest with you, I don't even understand the story at this point. It's like somebody's got documents hidden in a safety deposit box, and somebody else has got it here, and then they're fakes, they're not real, and then she was keeping it in her house, and they're working together. It's like, it's so... And they've even lost sight. Like, this was the problem with Found, too, is that what I liked about the show is that was the background story. The front story was that there was a mystery to solve, or not a mystery, but there was like a lawsuit every episode. Well, they don't even focus really that much on the lawsuits anymore. The lawsuits are still there, but they're a very small part of the episode anymore. And Found did the same thing. It got so up into the whole kidnapping thing. I just was so over it. I stopped watching Found. That should be a TV video that I do, like, talking about shows that, like, you lost me at this episode, like, I was just out, because I'm kind of out. Elsbeth, to be honest with you, I'm kind of like, well, I love, like, the characters and stuff of Elsbeth. It's interesting to me the decisions that they make on TV shows. Like, Elsbeth's partner last season, I love the camaraderie between the two of them. But then they had her go, and she's now, like, in the FBI or something, or special unit or something like that. I don't really know why they did that, because she's still on the show. But, like, maybe it's, I don't know. I could look it up. I'm sure it's, like, an acting thing, but, like, that she had other projects or something. But she's still on there every once in a while, but in a very limited capacity. She was fantastic with Elsbeth. It was just, like, I loved their relationship. I don't think the mysteries are as interesting as they were last season on Elsbeth. Ghost has completely lost me, too. Like, Ghost, like, there was a fluidity to the story. I'll tell you when Ghost got real boring to me, is when Jay built the restaurant and his sister moved in. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't care about his sister, and I don't care about the restaurant. And it's now so much focus on the restaurant. The restaurant's boring to me. I really cared about, like, learning about the ghosts and hearing about how they got where they got and their backstories. Like, Jay and, what's her name? I can't think of the main character's name. I like them, but they're really not that interesting to me. It's the ghosts that I think are more interesting. But it's always story. I don't know. It's these shows, like, just bore. Maybe it's my interests have changed. I don't know. But so that's what I'm going to watch tonight. And then tomorrow, just depending how I feel. If I get up and I want to film a bunch of videos, I will. I'll definitely film my vlog tomorrow. I was going to maybe film it tonight and have it ready for tomorrow, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I film it tomorrow, and then depending, it'll be short or long. I don't know. I do have to run out, and I have to go. Santa Paws. left some presents, and I have to go pick those up for Santa Claus. So I'll do that tomorrow, and then Alex will take me to do that. And then I also have to get Caroline's Christmas present. She's the only person I haven't gotten anything for yet. I got her something, but she's the only person, because I was with her. So, so I need to go. I know where I want to go to get something for her, but that won't take long. All that will take less than an hour. And I'd like to get my Rosalind Bakery Sweetheart roll from Kroger's tomorrow too, or some kind of cinnamon rolls or something for Christmas morning. We'll see. I was thinking about this last night. Alex and I, maybe we changed it last year, I don't remember. But we used to always open presents like between he and I. Well, we're doing a very limited presents this year because we're trying to focus on like trips and stuff like that. And like saving money for the remodel of the house. But we still want to do presents, so just limited. So we usually open them on Christmas morning, but it's just very quick, and then we just kind of like hang out in bed and whatever. I'm thinking about like seeing it. Well, it will depend on what time we get back on Christmas Eve. So, I think he's thinking it's going to go really, really long. I kind of had forgotten Jesse's parents were coming. With the baby being there, like, because it sometimes goes really late, because, like, we don't even start opening presents till midnight. I just have a feeling that, like, with Jesse's parents being there and the baby and stuff like that, I have a feeling it's not going to go as late as Alex thinks it usually does. You know? I don't know. But, he's, like, really wanting to take Otis and Walter over there for Christmas Eve. So I do have, like, a smaller, like, it's not small, but it's, like, a smaller crate. And he's like, you just take it over there and then leave it open and put their blankets inside. And then if they want to go in there, they can sleep until we're ready to go. And I said, yeah. I don't know. Otis is good. They're both good with, like, you know, people and whatever. Walter's real shy, kind of, around people. I don't know. I just think maybe it'd be a little bit too much for them. I also think it would be good socialization. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. See how I feel tomorrow with that. But she today, again, was like, I can check on them tomorrow and take them out for you and stuff like that. They're so nice. My pool crew lady number 1 said the same thing because they're going to be there tomorrow night too. So I was like, okay. She was like, yeah, just let me know like how many times they need to go out in a night. She was like, I can take them out for you. I can, you know, feed them, whatever you need to do. I said, oh no, we'll do all that before we leave. But I was like, okay. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. So tonight, when I get back, gonna read my books. So this is what I'm gonna do with the reading. So I'm gonna try to, like, well, I would like to, if I get done with this vlog, I don't have to start getting ready. Oh, well, that's gonna be, oh, Alex called me. Hold on a second. Let me text him. So my plan for the books is that, well, I really wanted to read a little bit. I gotta start getting ready time's gonna be here at 5:30. Yeah, I wanted to read a little bit. Well, I did read I read 3 of the Advent Calendar books already for today. So I want to go through all, like, tonight when I get back, I'll probably want to take a nap at some point tonight too, but I'll read all the Advent Calendar books for today. And then if I get that done, I'm going to, like, pick one book and then try to finish it. One book, try to finish it. One book, try to finish it. So that, then maybe tomorrow, like, some of them end tomorrow and some of them end on the 25th. And one book I was already a day ahead. I think 2 of them I'm already a day ahead. Because I knew that down to the wire. Like, I'm not going to want to be, like, spending 3 hours, you know, on Christmas Eve reading books. I'm just not going to want to do that. You know what I mean? So I was trying to get a little bit ahead of all of them. It was so funny because the guy that wrote the Halloween one that we read, the Ben Farthing guy, Nikki texted me this book the other night. Where is it? She texted me this book the other night. I was like, is that an Advent Calendar book? Hold on a second. I was like, is that an Advent Calendar book? Oh my God, where is it at? So many texts. Anyway, he wrote a Christmas book. Here it is. And I said, is that an Advent Calendar book? He wrote a Christmas book called I Found Christmas Lights Slithering Up My Street. She literally sent this to me, like, let's see when she sent it to me. Hold on a second. Why is it not sliding over? Oh, 12 o'clock last night. And I was like, is it an advent calendar book? She's like, I have no idea. I just thought it was funny. She said, I'll add it to next year's list. I said, yeah, no more this year, LOL. Hold on a second. He's headed to Costco now, and he's going to be home. Actually, you want to know what he said? Okay. He said, just got done talking to Santa about your gifts, and now just running to Costco before coming home. He's been to Costco like 3 days this week. Every time I'm like, when we went there the other day, I was like, it's going to be so busy. He was like in and out real quick. And I said, why? I said, do you not just get everything at Costco like when you go? Because that's totally something he would say to me. And he was like, well, blah, 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 whatever. It's not like he just like, Caroline and I walk around Costco. He like goes in there and gets something. Like it's a lot for that Costco. Well, maybe today. Oh, I think today would probably be really busy, don't you think? Like the day before Christmas Eve. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm going to try to see if I can get as many of these books done as possible tonight. I don't really like, I don't have some new, there's so many shows I want to watch. Oh, I realized that Fallout is being released like an episode at a time on Prime, because that was on my list. Here's my nosy neighbor coming out here again. Y'all want to know the gossip, I know you do. She came out here in her pink slippers and her sweat outfit. So her sweat outfit's cute. And then she just went back inside. She was looking at, oh, I think she was looking for her husband. That's probably what she was doing. I do have to ask her a question, though, about something. Not HOA gossip. Anyway, so, yeah, after I get back with Tani tonight, it's going to be just, like, real laid back and relaxing. I probably will just do a vlog just, like, the next 2 days, and then Friday be back to filming videos and stuff like that. I already have my list made for Friday of what my videos are going to be. So, we will return on Friday, but I think I'll probably just do the vlogs tomorrow and Thursday. We'll see. I don't know. If I get up real early tomorrow. Oh my god, let me tell you about last night. Okay, so when I got done vlogging last night, I was downstairs on putting the vlog up and all that kind of stuff, getting my other videos up and whatever. By the way, somebody commented on my video and they said, this was like from 2 days ago they said it, or yesterday, I can't remember. It wasn't last night's vlog that they said it on. I don't think. But they said something about, I said something about, I'm so tired today, but I don't know why. But then on the previous day's video, I said I only got 2 hours of sleep. Okay, I totally forgot that. Like, I get on here and I vlog, and, like, I couldn't even tell you what my sleeping was like 2 days ago. Like, I do not remember, like, 2 days. I just don't. Like, I mean, I could think it through and be like, okay, 2 days ago, today's Tuesday, was Sunday night. What did we do on Sunday? We went to Alex's mom. What time I could figure it out, right? But, like, so when I read that comment, I was like, well, that would make sense why I was so tired. I haven't gotten a lot of sleep. I haven't been sleeping great this week. It's interesting, last night, it wasn't a nightmare. I had this dream. It was real crazy. I had this dream. So, this year alone, I've had 2 friends of mine that have passed that I was, like, really, like, one of them was, like, my childhood friend that passed just recently. And the other one was my friend that, like, was my friend, like, when I came out, like, I met him, and then we were friends all the years, talked a while ago, and whatever, and he passed away earlier this year, too. And, I had a dream that I was, like, at this, it was kind of like if you've ever seen the movie Long Time Companion. At the very end of Long Time Companion, I love that movie, by the way, it's one of the most fantastic movies about AIDS ever. And at the end of it, there is a scene where, like, it's this girl, well, I can't think of her name. Is it Mary Louise Parker? I think so. And these 2 guys, by the way, when I saw that movie originally, there was this guy named Fuzzy in it. Bruce Campbell plays the other guy, and then I can't remember who plays the guy. He's been in a lot of military movies. But he has a beard, and so his nickname's Fuzzy, and he and Bruce Campbell, not Bruce Campbell, that's his dad. Well, I can't think of the guy that was in Julia Roberts with the guy that has cancer. Campbell Scott. It's not his dad. Anyway, the movie's about AIDS. If you've never seen Longtime Companion, it's such a great movie. It's such a great movie. And because it shows like how it happens in real time in New York City, and it talks about like gay cancer and how it came out in the newspapers and how the like how people within the gay community reacted to it. And the camera stopped. I should watch it again and do a review of it on my movie channel. But it's about how this group of like gay friends and like their girlfriend, like they all react to it, and it's like in real time, but it like happens, like it goes year after year after year. It's like 5 years in their life, and the whole thing starts off on Fire Island, and it's like two groups of people that have rented houses on Fire Island, and then the whole thing is told through the eyes of like Campbell Scott and this guy named Fuzzy. Like they meet up like on Fire Island, and then they start dating, and then it flashes like a year, but like each of their friends dies like one at a time from AIDS. And they talk a lot about it on there, and they like start working for different like hotlines and stuff like that. It's a really, really powerful movie. But at the end of it, it's the three of them, and they're back on Fire Island on the beach where the whole movie starts. The movie starts with the song "The Tide Is High" by Blondie, and I absolutely love it. And it's Fuzzy. He's like coming back with bagels and coffee from the store in town. Interestingly enough, I've really never had a desire to go to Fire Island. I don't know why. Like, I think today it's probably a lot different than, well, when I was younger, like now a lot of people talk about it. I mean, like, well, they did when I was younger too. I mean, it was really a thing. Like, if you read like old like gay memoirs and stuff like that, which I've read a lot of those, like it started like in the 50s and the 60s and stuff like that, and it became really famous like in the 70s and the 80s during like the sexual liberation and stuff like that. If you don't know, Fire Island is an island off of New York, and it's like the Pines and stuff like that, and it's predominantly known for like a lot of gay men go there, and they have like afternoon dance parties and stuff and night parties, and there's a lot of hooking up, and like Ryan Murphy did a whole thing about it on his like, what was that show, the most recent American Horror Story that he did, but they showed Fire Island on there. But anyway, Fire Island became kind of like famous like in the 70s really, and with like a lot of like wealthy gay men would go there. But it also became a huge, like, center of the focus of AIDS, because it was, like, a place that you would go for, like, what's the meat locker, I think is what it's called, where people just would, like, go cruise in the woods and just, like, hook up with random people and stuff like that. When I came out, like, I definitely, like, I mean, if there's gay, like, cultural things that I learned about my first year coming out, just, like, by watching movies or hearing about it, Fire Island was definitely one of them. It's interesting kind of looking back on that, like, what are some of the first things I learned? I mean, I came out in 1990. I mean, it was like the end of what the gay community knew as the AIDS crisis. It was the beginning of the end. But I think for everybody else, it was just the beginning of the understanding of it. I mean, when you go back, like, the AIDS crisis started in the late 70s. It wasn't like, I always think of it as, like, from, like, 87 to 90, because that's when it, like, really hit me being in high school and stuff like that. And I remember talking about it. And then when I came out, but it was long before that. It was long before that. What's the t-shirt that I have of two men kissing? Silence Equals Death. ACT UP was probably the big organization that I learned about that year. What's the quilt? The quilt was something that I learned about my first year out. I think, like, just people's different stories. Harvey Milk. God, it's weird thinking back on that now. But I don't remember any of us being like, we should go. I don't think any of us had the money, first of all. But I don't remember any of us being like, well, two places. I don't think any of us, we would talk about the places, or people would say, like, I remember, like, older gay men that we would meet, like, at parties and stuff that were, like, from town here. They would talk about, like, oh, well, when we spent our summer in Provincetown. But they were, like, 60, and it was unrelatable to us, you know what I mean? Like, and now I'm almost there. But I don't remember, like, any of us thinking it would be, like, real fun to go to Provincetown for the summer. You know, or like, which now I think it would be kind of fun. I wouldn't want to go for a summer, but for like a week. Fire Island, I really never had. Of the two, I would definitely go to Provincetown versus Fire Island. I don't know. Like, I've never really had a huge desire to go. Has anybody been? I mean, it's not just a gay place. Other people go there too, but I heard the architecture of the houses is beautiful and stuff there. That's not why people go to Fire Island. I mean, it's kind of a party island is why people go there. They have tea parties and stuff like that. But anyway, at the end of Longtime Companion, it's the three of them walking down there on the beach. I actually have this song they play at the end of it on on my iTunes. I kind of love that song. I should look it up because the lyrics are fantastic. But she says something to one of them and says, like, can you imagine if, like, everybody could just come back for one more day? And then it's like everybody that's died from AIDS, like, comes running down and they're all, like, hugging each other and then the music plays. It's really fantastic movie. I mean, it's a sad movie, but it's really fantastic. Do you guys want to see what this guy looks like, Fuzzy? So this is, I think I watched it when it first came out. What year did the movie come out? Well, so I've talked about it on here before. Companion. 1989, so I would have watched it. Mary Louise Parker, right? Is she in the cast? Let's see if it's her, if I was right. Mary Louise Parker, yeah. Who played Fuzzy? Stephen Caffrey. Look at him today. Oh my god. This is who I had a total crush on when I came out. Well, this is what he looked like then, without a beard. Let's look it up. Fuzzy. I thought it was such a cute name, too. Images. Look at him on the beach, in the polo shirt. Aww. This is my celebrity crush when I came out. I probably never would have thought I had a... What was that song called? I want to look at that song. Because I have it on my longtime companion. End song. Postmortem Bar by Zane Campbell. Let's look it up in my iTunes right now and see if I have it, shall we? Songs. Postmortem Bar, right here. In between Poseidon by, I don't know who this person is, Federico Scavo, and Postcards from Paradise by Flesh for Lulu. Postcards from Paradise! Do you guys remember that song back in the day? I had a Flesh for Lulu t-shirt. I wonder where that's at. I'll just play that song here in just a little bit. I wanted to get on here and tell, like, Christmas memories and stuff like that. It doesn't feel real Christmassy, though. It just doesn't. It's like... It's 61 outside. It doesn't feel real Christmassy. None of this Christmas has felt Christmassy, and I blame it on the Advent calendar books. No, I do, because, like, what was I reading last night? Like, none of them really have anything to do with Christmas. Like, kind of. Like, I was going to do, several updates through the month of December on my BookTube channel, but I just didn't. Oh, by the way, did I announce this yesterday? So, yesterday I did a video on my BookTube channel announcing the banned book club. So I announced the first book that we're reading for January 2026. So the banned and challenged book club. So it's all books that are banned and challenged in schools around the United States. And every month I'm going to pick a banned book. Just one. So it'll just be one book a month to read. I might continue it year after year depending on how the year goes. But I just want to open my mind up to more banned and challenged books and stuff like that. Because I think it's important. It's interesting, like I said this in my video, but when I was looking at the list more extensively, how many of the books, specifically, the banned and challenged books are books that really, profoundly made me into the person that I am today. Like, when I think about, To Kill a Mockingbird is, massively challenged and banned in so many places, which is so interesting to me. That and Lord of the Flies, when that was required reading when I was growing up. To think of the fact that, required reading books are now, banned in a lot of school systems is, it's crazy. I mean, you would think that we would be more progressive now, 40 years later, than we would when I read the books in 6th grade. So I guess it was fine for us in 6th grade, but 40 years later we can't read those books. I don't know. Books about racism? We're scared of that? Anyway. So, I mean, I'm not that dumb. I have a lot of thoughts about that. But anyway, when I was looking at the list, I was like, so many of these books... I can remember, I had read, parts or most of Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's challenged a lot and banned in schools. And I understand why it is. I mean, I understand, I don't agree with it, but I understand why people take issues with it. But I remember can't remember if I think I read the book first. My friend's boyfriend gave it to me. He's like, you gotta read this book. You're like the main character. Like so many people have told, I can't remember what the main character's name is, but so many people have been like, oh my God, the main character reminds me of you. So when I read the book, I was kind of like, oh. I love the book. But I think I read it, no I did. I read it years before the movie came out. I remember Tanya didn't read the book. She saw the movie. I remember I ended up buying it on DVD because she was like, I couldn't rent it yet. I don't like you could rent it, but I could never so I just bought it. Because Tanya was like, you're gonna love this movie. She's like, he's you. Like, he is totally you in this movie. And I remember watching it, and I felt very seen in a lot of the parts. I don't know, and I hadn't read the book for years. I actually, the copy of the book that I have one of the original copies, when it first came out. Because my friend's boyfriend gave it to me. But that's on there. The Ellen Hopkins books. I love the Ellen Hopkins books. As an addict, she writes so honestly about addiction. So yeah, I'm really excited about that project. I'm going to pick some really random books. I'm not going to just, I am going to pick, probably, a Kurt Vonnegut book because I haven't read any. I know, I cannot believe I've never read a Kurt Vonnegut book. This is the thing. My mom loved Kurt Vonnegut. My mom and I didn't necessarily always agree on literature taste, though. So I don't know, there was a lot of books that, my mom loves Siddhartha. It's fine. Fufu and I, Fufu's a big reader, so we were he's reading all the Doomsday Carl books. And so he, had his list up. I was like, you're not, he, keeps a list, like I do, but of books. And I was like, you're not on Goodreads? He's like, no. I was like, Fufu, you need to get on Goodreads. But he had Siddhartha. I said, what'd you think of Siddhartha? He's like, I really liked it. It was good. I was like, My mom liked Journey to the East more than Siddhartha, but I always mispronounce it. My mom would have corrected me. She would have said, Hermann Hesse. Anyway, I wasn't real moved. I've read Siddhartha, I think, twice. I think I read it in high school. And I read it, later in life. I don't feel like I got it. No, I really don't. I don't think I got it. I don't know, but, I almost feel like another book that so many of my friends read in high school. This little girl is riding her bike down the street, and her grandpa is one. Oh, is it The Villages guy? It's some low bike that has, the things on it. But she's, singing songs. Oh, this must be her mom on a bike coming after her. Oh, and here's her sister or something. Look at me trying to figure it all out. But Tom Robbins is it's real weird with authors that are I would say they're more, what's the word I'm looking, more intellectual. I don't mean that as a diss to the people that I like, but their writing's more intellectual. I don't sometimes get it. Not that I don't get it, I just don't enjoy it, I'm definitely, I used to read a lot of Hemingway, Fitzgerald, a lot of Somerset Maugham, Gertrude Stein. I used to read a lot of that stuff in my youth. And I loved it. And I would reread some of that stuff. A lot of it today is a lot of Southern literature, Eudora Welty, Carson McCullers. I used to read a lot of that stuff in my youth, and I loved it. As I've gotten a little bit older, not that I didn't enjoy that stuff, I find it to be really sad sometimes now. I think very poetically honest about people's lives, but almost too sad. I've actually bought some of the other stuff that I haven't read before. What's the one that my mom liked? By Carson McCullers that I've never read. Member of the Wedding I read. I thought it was sad, but I loved it at the time. But anyway, a lot of the more, what I would call intellectual writers, is it Tim Robbins? Who's the actor and who's the writer? Tom Robbins is the writer. Woodpecker. Still Life for Woodpecker. I remember my philosophy teacher in high school recommending that, and all my friends read it. It takes place in a pack of Camel cigarettes. I bought that book in high school. I think the copy that I have is the one that I bought in high school that has a woodpecker and a pack of Camel cigarettes, and it's about a princess that lives in the castle. Anyway, my friends loved that book. I can't tell you how many times I started that book. What's the book? On a Winter's Night, A Traveler. I actually bought it on Audible, and I haven't even listened to it on Audible 2 years ago. By, I can't think of his name. I've started that book so many times, too. Oh, my mother, she loved, James Joyce. I don't get it. What's the one that my mom loved that's all Stream of Consciousness by James Joyce? Ulysses. Oh, my God, she tried to get me to read that book so many times. I didn't get it. So, What was I getting to with the Tom Robbins book, Still Life for a Woodpecker, though? Oh, like, Carl Hyacint's a mystery writer, and he's kind of, like, weird like that, but I like Carl Hyacint's work. I haven't read anything of his in a while. They're actually turning one of his books into a TV series I just saw. But anyway, what was the book that I was thinking about? Go back, Peter. Wiggle your toes and you'll remember. Tom Robbins, Still Life for a Woodpecker. Kurt Vonnegut, Slaughterhouse 5. I kind of feel like it's on that, like, I mean, obviously Kurt Vonnegut gets a lot more famous than that. I just don't think that I'm going to like it. I don't know. My gut has always told me I'm just not going to enjoy it. My mom read everything by him and loved him. So Kurt Vonnegut's from Indianapolis. I've told this story on here before, but anyway, one of my friends, my old boyfriend Jack, he's since passed away. And then my other friend, who is his best friend, she ended up living with my roommate that lives in Berlin now. They used to live together in Los Angeles together. They moved here to Los Angeles together. So anyway, but one night, so Jack used to work for this magazine here in town called Arts Indiana. And I think Kurt Vonnegut was like on the board or something like that. So before Jack left that job, he, it's kind of sad, like, when you get to my age and, like, you've lost people at certain ages, like, I'll forever see Jack at, like, 30 years old, like, in my head. And I can just hear him saying my name. He's like, Peter. He was like a teaser. I've always kind of dated guys that tease, that are like teasers. Like, Alex is like a big teaser, like jokester. Jack was too. So cute. Anyway, but this was when I was drinking, okay? And so, Jack and our common friend, the three of us, I feel like there was our fourth friend was there too. I think she was over there too. But anyway, Jack had like written down Kurt Vonnegut's phone number or something. I can't remember how it all went down before. I mean, God, I was like 20 at the time or 19. And yeah, I would have had to have been because they didn't move to Los Angeles until they moved to Los Angeles. I would have been like, when did I date Jack? I would have been like 22. I think he passed away long before he was 30, actually. He passed away when he was like 28 or something. He was older than me, but not like a lot older, like 4 years. But anyway, we were sitting around and we were drinking and stuff like that. And they're like, I can see us. We're like all sitting on the floor. Yeah, it would have been before I got my couch. So I just had 2 director's chairs that were my dad's. And I had this table in between it like this. That was my apartment. Like literally, I had an old TV from my bedroom that was on this thing. I had this like bookshelf made out of boards and bricks. I had my dad's drafting table as my desk, like in my dining room area. And I had 2 stools that I bought at like Pier 1. I remember opening my Pier 1 card and my credit card limit was $400. And I maxed it out. Like, I was so excited about that Pier 1 card. Oh my God. But anyway, I can remember just sitting on that wooden bar stool from Pier 1. They're probably like $20 each. And just sitting there and talking on the phone for hours, that long cord. But anyway, we were sitting there on the floor. And Jack was like, I have Kurt Vonnegut's phone number. And we were like, what? So Jack was he was like a painter and a photographer. He was like real involved in the art scene here and went to art school and stuff here in town. So he's like, yeah, when I left Arts Indiana, I like got like Kurt Vonnegut's number. I don't know why I'm worried about telling these stories. Everybody involved, including Kurt Vonnegut, is dead. So I don't know why it matters. But anyway. Which is also a sad reflection of my life when you've reached the age where like the majority of the people that you've shared your youth with are already gone. But anyway, so Jack was like, we should call Kurt Vonnegut. And I was like, oh my God. He's like, Peter, you do it. I'm like, no, what am I going to say? So anyway, I can't really remember how it went, but nobody wanted to do it. And finally I was like, fine, I'll do it. I could see myself sitting there, I'm like smoking a cigarette, and I like called. And it was so weird, like, because, so Kurt Vonnegut answered, so he's living in New York at the time, right, with his wife. Her name was like Lily or Lila or something like that. And, have you ever seen Kurt Vonnegut in interviews? Like, it was exactly like that. This is so weird. I can't even believe that, like, this ever happened in my life. But, so he answers and he's like, hello? And I'm like, Kurt? Oh, that little dog looks like Walter, but like puffier. And he's like, yeah, who is this? And I'm like, it's Peter from Indianapolis. And he's like, Peter from Indianapolis? He sounded drunk too. And I was like, yeah. I'm looking at them, I'm like, I don't know what to ask. And they're like, ask him for directions. I go, directions to where? So in the background, so he's like, what do you want? And I said, hey, how are you? Your dogs are so cute.
Thank you.
And I said, we're in Indianapolis. And I said, we don't know. And I'm like in my head just trying to think. And I go, we're on Meridian. We don't know how to get to Capitol. Well, Meridian and Capitol are parallel. I don't even know why I said it, right? And they're like right next to each other. And he goes, and so then his wife comes and she's like in the background. She goes, who is it? He goes, they're from Indianapolis. Well, what do they want? We're like all laughing, right? We're all like this because there's no speaker phones. We're all like listening on this phone. And she's like, what do they want? And he goes, they don't know how to get from Meridian to Capitol. And I said, yeah, we need help. And he goes, you live in Indianapolis and you don't know how to... I think we just hung up the phone or something. I can't remember how it happened. But anyway, oh my God. So yeah, I talked to Kurt Vonnegut on the phone. I prank called Kurt Vonnegut. That's the one celebrity that I prank called. Do you remember those YouTube videos back in the day when like influencers would call like their influencer celebrity friends and like prank call them? That's the only prank call that I've ever made to a celebrity. I think that's the only celebrity number I ever had. Anyway. Oh, Jack. Jack can be kind of an ass at times, so truly. He always just kind of stood and judged. I have this picture of me and Jack I remember when I started dating Jack. God, how old was I? I would have been like 18, turning 19 when Jack and I started dating. So I met his friend. She and I became really, really close. She became close with my roommate at the time that they ended up moving to LA together. I met Jack through her. We were out at this bar in Indianapolis called NYC one night. That's how Jack and I started dating. Jack lived in this house, which is at, if you live in Indianapolis, the house still is there. It's on, if you're going south, it's on Pennsylvania and probably like 9th in Pennsylvania and Delaware. It's this white house that sits there. And he was in like the upstairs of the carriage house about back. Because he was like, do you want to come over to my... I remember like one night he was like, do you want to come over to my house and have dinner? And I was like, yeah. Oh, after Jack, I made this rule. He had no car. He had no phone. This was before cell phones. He had no car, no phone, and no job at that time. And I was like, after that, I was like, I'm not dating anybody that has no car, no phone, or no job. After that, that was my rule. But anyway, so I think we were just like hanging out one day. He always just wanted to go do stuff, like hang out, like, and he'd just be like, yeah, pick me up at like, because at the time, Talbot Street was where like the art school, the hair and art school was and stuff. And so I think he was like volunteering or working at the art school or something. I don't remember. But anyway, what was that friend of his? The guy was like a lot older. I always thought that they had something going on. I can't remember what that guy's name is. I wouldn't say it on here anyway. But anyway, it'll come to me like at 2 o'clock in the morning. But he'd always, oh, the battery went to the halfway mark. He'd always be like, just pick me up at the yard. I'll be like out there painting or something like that. I'd pick him up and he'd be like, bring over like a sketch pad or whatever. So one day he was like, let's go back to my house, I'll make you dinner. And I go, okay. And I remember going into his apartment and it was like wood floors. I thought it was, this is like what so changes in your life. I can remember being like, this is so cool. Like you had to go up this tiny staircase to this like back of this carriage house, okay, in the back of this house, and he was upstairs. It was literally one room. I don't even remember if he had a bathroom or if he shared a bathroom. I can't even remember. But it was like one room, and like they had built in this kitchenette with like a sink in there, okay, like, and it was like in the corner was his mattress on the floor. There was like 2 windows, like, you know, like one on this wall, one on that wall. And then like, and he had like a drawing table underneath that. I mean, the whole apartment was probably, I'm not even exaggerating, probably, and I'm being fair, 250 by 200, I mean, it was probably 250 square feet, including the kitchenette. And I don't even know if there was a bathroom in the room. I don't remember if there was or not. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was like, oh my God, I love this. And I'll never forget, he made a package of, do you remember those noodles that came in a bag? they weren't like noodles in a cup. It was like in a bag. Like it came in a bag. You know what I'm talking about? Like where you mix in like butter and with it. I don't even think I ate any of them. I think he ended up just making them for himself or something. I don't even remember. But I remember like staying over there that night. And like you could see like, because Delaware is like this main road downtown. And you could see like all the car lights like hit the wall. And I remember like he fell asleep. I remember he smelled really good. That's one thing I can always, like my husband has a very distinct smell. I always remember, like my Aunt Kathy, like her house always smelled a certain way. It's really, I can remember how Jack smells. And that was like, what, I mean, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 30 years ago. And he's gone. So sad. Anyway, but I can remember laying next to him and this like, he had like this woodish kind of like, soap smell to him, which incidentally Todd had a very similar smell to that, but that I did it. But Todd, and somebody asked me not too long ago, doesn't Alex care that Peter talks about his exes? Do you think Alex doesn't tell me about his exes when we're telling stories? We've been together 18 years. Alex could care less. It's not like I'm running back to one of my exes from 25 years ago. No, he's not jealous of that. He could care less. Anyway, but Todd wore Woodland from Bath and Body Works because I ended up wearing that for years later. So Todd's passed away too. So anyway, I remember laying there in Jack's bed on the floor, and he had this fan, and there was no air conditioning. It was so hot in that apartment. I remember he had the windows open. I think that would have been like August or something of that summer. I would have been out a year, so I would have been 19 at that time. And I remember like laying there and just seeing like the shadows of like the cars passing by on the windows. And there was just something like really sexy about that to me. I don't know, I loved that apartment of his. I loved it so much. Oh, Jack. Oh, I just remember that guy's first name. It was like his like art mentor. I'll have to look up Arts Indiana because he was on the board too at Arts Indiana with his first name. I wonder what happened to him. Dead. Here comes my neighbor doing something. Looking up here. I see shadows. Long shadows in the driveway. It is weird when you get to a certain age, like, and I'm not even that old. Like, I mean, I know I look old, but 53 is really not that old. Let's be for real, right? But when you get to a certain age, and it's like I was talking to my Aunt Susie, my mom's best friend. I mean, we've had this conversation so many years, or so many times over the years. She's like, yeah, like, there's nobody like, obviously her daughters and her grandkids and stuff like that, but, like, friends of hers, like, all of her friends are gone. My dad says the same thing, too. My dad's like, every person that I was friends with in my youth is, like, gone. Like, I can't even imagine what that's like. It's got to feel really isolating and lonely. My dad always just jokes about it. He's like, I know I'm next, and he's like, and I'm ready. I'm like, okay, Dad. My dad's in, like, perfect health. There's that guy that inspired me to walk all the time. He walks so much. He walks, like, twice a day. That's not the guy. This guy says hi to me. The other guy is, like, he doesn't say hi to anybody. But he walks a lot, too. There's two guys like that. This guy's probably, like, Alex's age. He has literally lost, I mean, probably, like, 150 pounds over, like, the last 2 years. He walks every day. So he now walks. He used to walk by himself twice a day. He now walks with, like, a girlfriend or his wife, like, once a day, and they take a slower walk. But right now, he's like this down the street. I always think of him, like, when I go up a hill, I always, like, speed up to go up a hill. So anyway, I was thinking last night about, like, Christmases on YouTube. You know, I always talk about, like, childhood Christmases and stuff. And I was thinking about Christmases on YouTube from, like, way back in the day and stuff like that. I was thinking about, like, just random stuff. I remember talking to certain people, like, my first year, like, on the phone. And, like, on Christmas Eve, like, being at the post office. Just so many random things about, like, different videos that I watch. Like, I was talking about Vlogmas yesterday, and I remember, like, watching Vlogmas videos, and it's weird how much my life has changed, like, how different it looks, you know, from when I started YouTube to now. Like, my life looks completely different, like, from getting up and, like, what I do, and, I mean, like, where I was 10 years ago to where I'm at today, like, my life looks so completely different. Like, I think, like, not driving is a huge part of it. What I realize also in not driving, I mean, other than the deeper conversations, I've had those, you know, in the last week or whatever, is that how little I really needed to drive. You know, like, that's one thing that, like, I don't know. Like, I would get up and I would go get coffee and I would go places, and I don't know if it was a form of emotional escape or something, but I just, like, I went places I didn't really need to go, you know? Like, I order a lot of stuff online, but most of the stuff that I order, I mean, I am down, like, with wax melts. Like, I think I'm down to, like, the camera stopped. I've used all the happy waxes that I got in my holiday box. I'm down to, like, 4 of the 6 packs of the sensational ones. Like, I'm done. Like, I was like, and I need to order some more. Like, I was looking at my coffee. I really, like, I've gone through most of my Christmas coffee already. Alex is like, you have a box in the garage. And I was like, of the caramel apple. I don't even want to use that right now. I'll wait till after the holidays. But I got this Cafe Bustelo. And I'm already almost done with the Illy. And so it's like, I looked in because I have this whole, like, pantry shelf, all just coffee. And there's, like, the one-step lattes. I have some of those in there, but I have a whole drawer of it. Like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't have that much coffee. When I used to go out, I found myself spending a lot more money buying stuff that I didn't need because I was just out, you know? Like, sure, I miss stuff like, I think, like, 2 things, like, since I don't drive anymore. Like, it's kind of a double-edged sword because I probably, like, I sit here and I'm like, I wish I could go to a day meeting today. And I do sometimes, like, a friend will call and I'll, like, you know, quickly go or whatever. And I don't always talk about it because I just, like, it's a lot of times friends of mine that I don't talk about on here and stuff like that. But anyway, but, like, back in the day, like, I kind of miss, like, the year where I was, like, going to a meeting every single day. And I don't know that, like, before I felt so driven to film, right? But now I feel like I'm at a place where, like, it would take a lot for me to, like, get up, take an Uber to a noon meeting, take an Uber home. Like, it would be, like, a 3-hour ordeal. Versus randomly when somebody's like, hey, I'm going to pick you up for the noon. I'm like, okay. But, like, I miss that period of my life where, like, I was going to a meeting every day. I loved it, you know? And so I thought about, like, but, like, if I was still driving and the accident had never occurred, I don't know that, like, I would be, does that make sense? Like, I don't know that I would be sitting here thinking about, well, I wish I was at a meeting every day. I don't know, like, a lot of the things I went through emotionally and mentally got me to the point where, like, I missed that a little bit. So I don't know that, like, how that never happened. I probably would still be sitting here being like, well, no, I don't have time to go to a meeting today. I'll wait till tonight because I'm filming this, and this, you know? I've slowed my life down so much over the last couple years. And I think the other thing is, like, I would just go to all these places and drive around and, like, I don't know, like the casino. Like, I don't really miss the casino. Every once in a while, I'll think, oh, it'd be kind of fun to go to the casino. Like, if I start talking about it, I'd be like, oh, it'd be fun to go to the casino. But I could talk myself out of it quicker. I don't really miss it. I've gone once. Like, is it once or twice that I've gone? Like, Valerie's been gone now, like, over 2 years. So she and I went, and then I went one time. I think I've gone twice in 2 years to the casino. I just don't want to get stuck there again. But I also don't really miss it. Like, I really don't. I play my little slot game on the phone, but it's not for real money. I don't really miss it. And then what I realized was it was really about being with Valerie. It was really like a social aspect. The people that I knew at the casino, they don't work there anymore. So it's not like I'm going to, like, I don't know. It kind of felt depressing to me the last time that I went. It just felt like desperate. I don't know. I don't know why it never occurred to me that it felt that way before. I don't really miss that. You know, and I really don't have, like, my walks have really replaced listening to audiobooks while I drove. What I realized is I just really didn't have anywhere to go. You know, so I don't know. It's interesting when I, like, look back on my whole perspective of all that I think I would have done. I don't know. Like I didn't. Like, people ask me quite a bit. Well, it's usually people that don't really know me, and oh, the battery's flashing me, so I have to get off here. We'll save that for another night. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, so I'm gonna get off here. Ooh, gotta go get ready for Tanya Jean! Gotta get ready for Tanya Jean. It's me and my best friend's night tonight. I'm so excited. Anyway, I hope you guys are having it was gonna end up being another long conversation, and I gotta get ready so I can maybe read a book or two, take a shower, and take my time getting ready tonight. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Tuesday, and if nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys. If you celebrate Christmas, if you celebrate the holidays, happy Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is my second favorite day of the year next to Halloween. So I am so excited about tomorrow. I'll probably just vlog tomorrow and Christmas, but I'll put up something. I don't know how long or how short it'll be, but I will be here either way. And I hope you guys are being safe and take time to yourself, treat yourself right, be kind to one another. I love you guys and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.